Welcome to Grey County Life. I'm JC Coutts.
I'm Sarah Carmichael. Joining us on the show today, we will have Jenna McCoubrey Prestidge talking about the latest installment of Rosie the Hockey Player. Also, Marcia Cunningham from the Roxy Theatre will be joining us to talk about all of their upcoming events. And of course, Renee from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter will be in with an adoptable animal looking for a forever home.
Going to be a good episode today. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the fact that there's only 4 days this week because Good Friday and Easter are coming up this weekend. Do you have a lot of Easter traditions in your family?
Not so much in my family, no, but I was trying to figure out if we're doing anything for Easter. I mean, we do some sort of a get-together. There's a meal usually, but I was going to ask my mom if she wanted me to bring a ham.
Oh, yeah.
Did I tell you about I won a ham?
How did you win a ham? Did you go to the Legion meat draw?
I did. It wasn't the meat draw though. It was called the turkey roll. Okay. And this was a fundraiser hosted by the Kiwanis Club at the Legion. And I did go, and they gave away 20 turkeys, 20 hams, and I had no idea what this was. I'd never been to it. Decided to go. Why not, right? It was a Saturday night that I didn't work at the Attack game, so I thought, when in Rome, you know, make use of the free time. And they sold tickets for every round. They did 10 rounds. They gave away like 2 turkeys and 2 hams for each round, I believe it was. And they went out, and the tickets were $1 each. And they would just give you a number, and they'd spin the wheel. Obviously, you didn't have to buy for every round unless you wanted. And then they'd spin the wheel, and then if that was your number, you won whatever meat went along with that round. So they gave away 20 turkeys, 20 hams. I actually won 2 hams.
2 hams.
I currently have 2 full hams in my freezer. We also won a ton of stuff with their penny table. They had like these little draw things that you buy the tickets and you put them in. We won a ton of those prizes. They had this other prize. We won a brand new bench metal grinder. I don't even know what it does, but I have one, and it's brand new.
Yeah. Mark Perry, our producer, would like to know if anyone else won anything, or did you just win everything?
There was conversation about that because our table did very well, and I was talking to Drew Ferguson, who was like the guy doing the wheel. I talked to him like the next day, I think, actually, at the Attack game, because I think I worked the Sunday afternoon game. And he was like, yeah, some people want, you know, an investigation put into your table because they figure it was rigged because you guys took home so much loot. And I'm like, I being naive and gullible, I'm like, really? And he's like, no. Anyway, it was an absolute blast. It was the first time they'd done this event, and they just knocked it out of the park. And I know they raised a ton of money too. And it was funny because there was some friends of my friend who was there, my friend Kathleen, she's a Kiwanis member. Some friends of hers, she had invited them, like, oh yeah, just come by for a drink, like, you know, support Kiwanis. And they had come by, and they thought they were just coming by for a drink. 3 hours later, they're going home with a turkey and like a backpack and like all this stuff. And they also had an absolute hoot, but they were like, we literally thought we would be home 3 hours ago. Like, what just happened? Like, it's like you get sucked into all the excitement and you just don't want to leave because you want to like get the next round, and you're, you know, oh, you got a loonie, I got a toonie, and you're buying tickets, and oh gosh, so much fun. Highly recommend already for next year that you go to the Kiwanis turkey roll fundraiser.
I have to ask now, what kind of a ham was it? Was it just your standard, like, you know, the circular ham, or was it like the fancy spiral cut ham?
No, I don't think it was just like a. It was. I think they were donated by Foodland. Okay. Because it was a Compliments brand. Is that the right?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, so it was a Compliments brand, but it was huge. It was a huge. Like, it's fully cooked already, but I've frozen it because I didn't know what else to do. Truthfully, I've never made a ham in my entire life.
Oh, well, I mean,
I don't even know what to do with it.
Not like, overly.
Do I just put it in a pan and hope for the best?
Pretty much. Okay. I mean, they usually put instructions on. I love, and so does my wife, the spiral cut hams, because I don't know, it's just something about it. It almost is like, it's so close to being like bacon taste that I keep going back and back. And the afterward sandwiches are the best sandwiches ever too.
Well, is that something you will do for Easter then? Are you doing a spiral cut ham?
We are doing a spiral cut ham this year. And I think you put it in, I think it's maybe 2-3 hours. As long as you come in and glaze it a little bit every now and then. Just keep it moist.
Okay.
It's not overly complicated. I think you could do it. I believe in you. You've taken on more complicated things in the kitchen.
No, I'm not a wasteful person, but at the end of the day, it was a free ham.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, technically, yes, I paid for the ticket for the draw, but like this ham cost me like $2. So even if I try it and I totally wreck it, not that I want to waste food, but it's not like I just spent like $40 on a ham.
Oh, ham's a great food for not wasting, because afterwards you take the leftovers, you get a nice ham and potato soup.
Oh, yeah.
And then you're eating for days after that.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, so maybe
Get your
I will.
recipe. My wife's got a good one.
For the potato soup?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'll get you one.
That's good. So yeah, there's what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to make a ham.
Nice.
Now, I do know that Heritage Place Shopping Center, I'm going to refer to my notes here because I just saw this. Heritage Place Shopping Center is doing some stuff this Saturday for Easter. They have the photos with the Easter Bunny. Mm-hmm. Always super cute. And that's by donation with the money going to the Owen Sound Animal Shelter. Love that. Easter egg scavenger hunt. Petunia the Clown is going to be doing some balloon twisting. There's going to be a coloring contest for kids 12 and under. Also, you can purchase Easter treats for your pets from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter.
That's awesome.
So that's happening this Saturday at Heritage Place from 10 until 2. Lots of Easter fun there. And I'm sure there will be other events around town too, with the Easter Bunny stopping by. And it's always but that one is always very popular. I remember I went just by myself. I don't have children. I went, I think 2 years ago, and I wanted to just see the bunnies. Like they had actual bunnies that you could like pet and stuff. And that's literally why I went. There was so many kids. I was overwhelmed. It was so fun. Like there were so many kids like just having an absolute blast. So recommend it if you've got younger kids. But yeah, other than the spiral ham, any plans for the Easter weekend?
Oh, we definitely will do an Easter egg hunt at the farm with the nieces and nephews. And the biggest challenge will be to hold the dogs back so that they don't go and find the eggs first.
Do they do an adult hunt? I've seen people that will do like they'll go to the liquor store and beer store and they get a bunch of different types and they hide those, so it's like the grown-up Easter egg hunt.
Yes, the viral video of them walking around and picking out bottles from like shrubs and things. I keep sharing that video with my mother-in-law, but it never happens. I don't know.
She's not getting the hint.
Fingers crossed for this year, Barb. If we could start hiding beers around the yard for me, that would be great.
He might be more inclined to show up to events.
Oh, I'm always going to be
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. He enjoys the farm. Everybody loves the farm.
The farm is great. We've got a busy show today. Up first, we're going to be talking with Jenna McCoubrey, Prestidge, about the latest book in the Rosie the Hockey Player series. Marcia is going to be here from the Roxy Theater. We're going to get to meet an animal. Renee will be here from the Owen Sound Animal Shelter. Busy episode of Great County Life. Stay tuned.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
I still remember the games, the laughter, the footsteps through the hallway. I'll never forget the hard times.
Every day I come back from work, it's always like this. We're yelling in front of the kids.
The help we needed. How far we've come.
Hi, can I take your order? Hello?
Oh, hey. Wait, what was the question?
Let me guess. One driving high combo, extra baked?
No. Could I get a burger with a side of fries?
Think you're a better driver when you're high? Think again. Smoking weed affects reaction time and concentration. A message from Mad Canada.
Hi, I'm Tiffany James, the host of Her Story. Join us on Rogers TV as I interview various women in our community on how they found success in their own way.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. We're very excited to welcome back to the studio a familiar face, Jenna McCoubrey Prestidge. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you both so much for having me back on the show.
Well, you keep doing great things, so we're going to keep having you back to talk about it.
Thank you.
Now, when you were here a few months ago, we were talking about your pretty much brand new book that you had released, or your first 3 books, I should say, about Rosie, the hockey player. So tell us a little bit about Rosie for those who aren't familiar.
Yes, okay. So it all came about with Hockey Day in Canada on Owen Sound. So I went to the Women's Showcase game with my son and my family and watched the OWA Women's University game and then the PWHPA game, which is the professional women before the PWHL, the league that exists now. And I was watching all the women, the girls in the stands with their Ice Hawks jerseys, and they were like running to high five their favorite players, and they were just having like the best time. The skill level was amazing, the talent was amazing. And I went home that night and looked in my home library, that is quite extensive, and realized there was almost no hockey books that feature female characters. And I have a daughter, at the time was 2, and I thought, you know, I need to make it different for her growing up than how I grew up. In 30 years playing the game, I couldn't believe these books still didn't exist. It just sort of came to me. I thought a few days later, was like, I'm gonna start writing some books for my daughter, Ellie Rose. I named it Rosie the Hockey Player, and I wrote based on my own experiences or the experiences of my nieces I have 6 nieces who play hockey, and just different things came to me, and I thought I'm gonna, make this into something for her to read so she can see herself represented. And then when I was done with it, I had a 6-book series, and I thought, I think there's more girls and boys out there that could learn from these stories. It's hockey books written by a hockey player, and I thought it was really important to try and get them out there. So worked really hard with an illustrator, Emma Gall, who is amazing. She's from Mount Hope near Hamilton, and we worked together on all the illustrations for the first 3 books. And when I had those ready, I released them at the end of November. And then the newest book, Superstitious Goalie, just came out on March 1st.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, they are amazing. And as you said, the illustrations are great. I like that they're easy to read. I told you this, but I was invited to go in to Keppel Sarawak as part of a reading event that they had. And they invited me to go into a couple of classrooms. We got to choose a book. So naturally, I brought Rosie the Hockey Player.
Thank you.
And I read the first book in the series. I read it to 2 different classrooms, different ages, like from fairly young up to about grade 6. And they were like totally into it.
That's fantastic.
Like they were totally like, as I'm turning the pages, they're trying to see the illustrations, and I'm trying to show them as best I could. Plus, I was really impressed with how many kids in these classes were already familiar.
Yes.
They're like, I have these books at home. I've heard about this, or they had them in the library and they read them, and it was pretty cool because I'm like, okay, word travels fast.
It does, and I can't tell you the support from the community. Honestly, it has been unbelievable, like beyond my wildest dreams. Owen Sound and the surrounding area is a special place.
Yeah.
But going through this whole process, it just reminded me how special it is living here, and the support has been amazing. So Treehouse in Owen Sound and Hometown Sports are carrying the books, and there's been multiple times where they've run out of books. Right. And one was the day that I dropped off book 4 to Treehouse. I needed to come back the next day and drop off more books because someone, Sarah, mentioned on the radio and caused a little frenzy in Owen Sound, which was fantastic.
They're like, start the car.
I know. So it's just been amazing.
I may have gone to Hometown Sports that very same day
Did
and
you?
texted Sarah to say there's only 4 left, so they're going to need more. Let her know.
That's so great.
Yeah.
That's so great. It's just been so heartwarming.
Right. And so let's talk about the 4th book, the one that just came out on March 1st.
Yes.
The Superstitious Goalie.
Yes.
Now, I recently read it, and I mean, first of all, first thing I noticed is the names.
Yes.
Obviously, these names are professional women's hockey players,
Yes.
right? We've got Haley,
Yes.
Marie-Philippe, Natalie.
Yes.
And I'm not even like a hockey player, but even I was able to recognize that and appreciate that.
Yes.
I thought that was really cool.
Yes.
And where did the superstitions come from? Like the actual things that Kim does.
That Kim does. And Kim is inspired by Kim St. Pierre, who is the best female hockey goalie of all time.
Right.
I'm just, aside from that, just when I started writing the book series, I thought there's so many fantastic women, and I wanted to just use their inspiration for the characters. So that's sort of how it developed. And I wrote it for my daughter, so I was like, well, the Kim has to be the goalie. I mean,
Right.
who else would be the goalie?
Yeah.
So that's just sort of how that started. But the superstitions themselves, like hockey is so incredibly superstitious, and there's so much that we don't talk about even. One of the things in the book is hairstyles. And for girls and women in hockey, it is a huge thing. Like I wear my hair in a braid every single time I put my helmet on. And that has been maybe the last 10 years of my life. It has been a braid every single time. But then you see Marie-Philippe Plan, it's always a bun. And Natalie Spooner, always a ponytail. Sarah Nurse, always a braid as well. So it's like everybody has their own way, and it's so common you almost don't even think of it as a superstition.
I would not think of it as a superstition as much as it's just practical. Right?
Yes.
You got to keep your hair out of your face when you've got your helmet on.
But when you think about someone doing the exact same thing every single game and tying the hair tie the same way,
right.
that it becomes superstitious. But there's other things in there. Like my husband is a goalie, so he definitely opened my eyes into.
Does he sleep with his blocker beside the bed?
He was the child who slept with his blocker and catcher, and that stuck with me my entire life. Like after we met, I was like, that is such a unique thing. I don't know anybody who's ever done that before. And that was his pregame routine, blocker and catcher every night before a game. And then when I was writing it, since I was writing it for my daughter, I was like, I've got to throw in some things about her dad in there. Right? Yeah, those are special. And also, I played with my longtime friend, my first friend playing hockey. She was the goalie, Justine, and we played every year together, which is really unique because in hockey that's not always the case. But girls hockey was so primitive then that we played the same team every single year. Right. So she was my constant companion through tournament after tournament, season after season. We were like a duo. Yeah. So we played for like whatever that was, like 11 years together. And we still play together when we can now. But she still wears the exact same player socks under her pads that she did when we first started. My goalies have their own way of doing things.
They must be so holy.
They are holy.
Falling apart.
They are holy. And I can picture them in my head right now when I'm talking. Like I know exactly what they look like. But so she opened my eyes to the superstitions, but then he really opened my eyes to the superstitions. And it's just next level. Like every hockey player has their own, but goalies are just the next level. And sometimes they're forgotten piece of the puzzle and they don't get as much recognition. So I was like, how do you have a hockey book series without highlighting those important players?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I just thought it was really interesting because, I never thought about it. I mean, I played soccer and we had certain superstitions or certain, routines when we'd be getting ready for a tournament and such. But I mean, the fact that, all players apparently have their thing is kind of neat.
It is. And even there, like I name the shirt that has the holes, the girl wears the same shirt every game until it gets too many holes. That was me. I had a shirt that I wore every single game for like years. And then there's a part about a peanut butter and jam sandwich 2 hours before every game. That's Sidney Crosby. He does that to this day. Peanut butter and jam sandwich before every game. And I'm like, there's certain things that each player does. And when I was like going through trying to write out the different superstitions, I thought those were great ones to include.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's obviously been so much tremendous local support for the book, but I'm just curious about support outside of Owen Sound, because I was just scrolling today looking through and I've seen some different hockey associations around the province, around the country have been like, look at this book, it's just come out, and enter a contest to win this book. So obviously there's a lot of excitement. You must be hearing lots of great stories.
I am, honestly. It's been amazing. The support has been unbelievable. And there's been different girls associations that have ordered like bulk orders from us to provide books to their players, which is amazing. Like they're seeing the value in it too. And I'm going to a few girls hockey tournaments coming up, and I've had people say like, can't wait to see you there. Well, like I can't wait to buy the books and all of that. So that's been great. The Rosie the Hockey Player first book is coming out in French this week, the end of this week. And I actually got a message recently from a woman asking, when are these going to be available in French? And I actually wrote back and said, well, it's actually happening this month. And I thought maybe she was from Quebec or somewhere, Franco, Ontario, and she's from France. She lives in an hour outside of Paris, and she said, my daughter's the only girl on her hockey team, and I would like these kind of books for her to see herself represented. And I could not believe that was happening. There's a message coming in from someone from France that wants to buy the books in French. Yeah, I was thinking more Canada,
Yeah. Were you?
Yeah.
Why not France?
Why not? I know, right?
Rosie's going international.
I know.
You're going to have a Swedish version, a Finnish version.
And I actually played hockey in Germany for a year after university, so I had some teammates messaging me saying, when are these going to be available in German? And I mean, the sky's the limit. It takes time.
Yeah, well, you had mentioned to me, so the translation you had help with from a local librarian?
Yes. So my kids go to the Francophone school, and the librarian there, her and I play hockey against each other actually in the women's league. And so I thought I would approach her and see, she's around kids' books all the time, and her language skills are phenomenal, so I thought I'd approach her, and she took the translation on. And I just think it's a fun little story, because I'm like, we've actually played against each other playing hockey, and then she's helping me make these books available to all the kids in French.
Yeah, and I mean, her as a hockey player, she would have a vested interest in this too.
Exactly.
So that's really cool.
Yes. Yeah.
all about those connections.
All about those connections. That's a community, right? It's a special community here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it too early to ask about book 5 and when that might be coming out?
It is happening next month.
All right.
Yes, yeah. So by the end of next month, book 5 will be available. So that one's called The First Penalty, and it is actually inspired by my niece, Emma, who when she was about 8 or 9 took her first penalty, and she was so disappointed in sort of in herself, but she also thought that her team and her coach were going to be very upset with her. So she got herself to the penalty box, and my brother, Pat, obviously could see that something was wrong. I went to check on her, and he found her with tears running down her face mask. Yes, and was like, "It's okay, this happens. Like, get back out there, clear your head. It's all part of the game." But that story and that whole image in my mind has really stuck with me. So when I went to write this book series, the little inspirations came, and I thought that's such a normal experience that can be really tough for some kids. So why not highlight that, and then they can see that it's part of the game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It seems that some want to be in the penalty box.
Yes.
So this is for the kids that don't necessarily want to be there, but it's for them to know that it's okay. As you said, it's part of the sport. It's the way it goes.
Exactly.
But, oh
and
my
it's
goodness.
that first one sometimes just stings a little bit, you know? And then after that, you know, it's a little bit easier.
Right.
It's funny, my niece Rachel actually just got her first penalty 2 weeks ago.
Did she?
And she came over to visit, and she said, "So I got a penalty today." And I went, "Oh, for what?" She's like, "Tripping." And I was like, And what did your coach say when you got back to the bench? He said I did a good job stopping them from getting the puck because she's a defenseman. I'm like, yes, sometimes it's good. There are good penalties and there are bad penalties, and sounds like you took a good one. So
Exactly.
As long as nobody got hurt.
Nobody got hurt.
Exactly. That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. Very
super
fitting.
cute. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. And of course, Rachel is a fan of the book series as well, because you made sure that she got all of them.
She read book 1. We gave it to her at a restaurant after a game, and within about 10 minutes, she put the book down and went, "Done. That was great." And I'm like, "You finished that already?"
That's fantastic.
Yeah, so she loves them. She's got book 4, loves it already. So book 5, I guess next month I will have to get to Hometown Sports and pick up another
That's
book.
fantastic. Thank
Early
you for
before
supporting.
they sell out again.
On day 1, yes. So I'll have to listen to the radio to know when they want
Yeah,
sale.
exactly, Sarah.
I'll let
Thank
you know.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. So yes, your books are available on Amazon.
Yes.
And all 4 are available there.
Yep.
And then they're also available at Hometown Sports and at Treehouse
Yes.
Clothing.
Yes.
Which is great. And I know that sales are going pretty well for you.
They
Do
are.
you have like a number, like how many you've sold?
Close to 1,500, which I think
Wow.
is pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah.
Because when I set out on this whole journey of making these available, my husband and I talked about it, and he was like, you need to temper your expectations a little bit. Like, if you sold 500 copies of the book series in total, like, you need to look at that as a success. And like within a month of it being released, it was Christmas time, but there was 1,000 sales, and that just like blew me away. I felt like I was just on a roller coaster. Like I haven't felt like that in my entire life. I had nothing to compare to that. It just was amazing. And then now I just feel like it's like the word is spreading, and the different communities and girls associations are seeking out the books and everything, and it's just been amazing. It's sort of the beginning of something fantastic.
Well,
So,
yeah. I mean, it's only realistically been like 5 months.
Yes.
Since this first book was released and you started sort of on this roller coaster. So
Yes.
that's pretty great in
Yes.
the first half of a year.
Yeah, it's actually crazy when you think about it,
Right? And I mean,
Yeah.
all happening out of Owen Sound.
Yes.
Right? Like you're operating out of here, which is really cool. Now, you had mentioned a partnership with Grindstone.
Yeah, so Grindstone Award Foundation is an amazing foundation. So they were founded by 2 female hockey players, and they provide equipment and registration grants for girls who want to play hockey but can't for financial reasons. So it's the girls who either play now or haven't played ever before, and they just need some funds to be able to register for hockey. So that I became a part of that organization as a volunteer, and a portion of the book profits will be going directly to them to help more girls get involved and stay in the game of hockey that we all love. So it's actually just such a feel-good, wonderful organization to be a part of.
Oh, that's so good. And yeah, it is an expensive sport especially when you're first starting out. You have to get the skates, and hopefully your kid can wear the skates for more than one season,
Hopefully.
but often not. Right? So it can be, something that not everyone thinks that they can afford to get involved with. So
Exactly.
having a foundation like that, and I know they do like equipment swaps and stuff around
Yes.
town. They'll try to organize those types of things so that it can be something that is feasible for everybody.
Exactly. It does get quite expensive.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a barrier to some people. So they're just trying to make it more accessible to girls across Canada. And I just thought there's sort of an unwritten rule in girls and women's hockey. You want to leave things better than you found it. And there's this wonderful group of volunteers that are trying to do that. And I was really happy to jump on board and try and do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm just curious because I the last time you were here, I think the Professional Women's Hockey League had just kicked off.
They did.
And since then, it's been the hardest ticket to get.
I know.
In any of the cities. Have you had a chance to go to a game yet?
No, I haven't. No, I would love to. I did go to the 3-on-3 the 3-on-3 event at the NHL All-Star game because that was available, so I got a ticket to that, and that was amazing. Seeing like some of my favorite players, it was just like such a great showcase.
Yeah.
But it has been phenomenal. Like I cannot believe the shift from 2023 to 2024 for women's sports in general. Women's soccer, women's basketball, women's hockey. Like it has just been so wonderful to see. It's still sort of like shining, sparkly, right now, sparkling new, but I hope that the momentum just carries, and I hope that they fill all those arenas and people just continue to support them because it is just like such a great thing to see.
It really seems like you're going to see it expand very quickly because now they're doing the thing where they're playing exhibition games, or I think they're actually regular season games in different cities. Detroit was just last week, over 13,000 people to go see Ottawa versus, I think it was Boston or Chicago, or not
Boston,
Chicago,
yeah,
Boston.
I think it's Boston.
And they crammed it because they want to see this product up close and see this great game, and it's amazing.
Definitely, and it's fantastic hockey. Like and the fact that they're physical and everything too adds a whole new element to the women's game too. I think everybody wants to get on board and see that. Like the skill level, the talent. It's just such a great time for women's hockey right now.
Well, and even last week they were doing trades.
Yes.
I was reading about, the PWHL, they were like, just before the trade deadline, like this player's going here. And I was like, oh my God, it's happening.
I
it's
didn't expect that.
It's being treated like a normal, league. Like the NHL, they always talk about the trades, and like now the PWHL is doing trades and stuff too, which I thought was really cool.
Yeah. It's amazing.
We've just got a couple of minutes left, Jenna, but for people that, again, want to get Rosie the hockey player, are all the books just individually available right now? Will there eventually be a box set?
That's a good idea.
Oh, you're giving her
some ideas
I
in there.
know, right? You're adding another thing on my mental list there.
Yeah.
I like that idea. No box set yet, but I think that's a great idea. Right. Yeah, just individual books for right now.
Okay. Hometown sports locally, and the other one was?
Treehouse clothing store,
The Treehouse is up in the Pizza Hut Plaza.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you're from Owen Sound, that used to be the Fast Forward audio visual.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we're aging ourselves.
Yes, we
but
are.
it used to be like an audio visual, like you could buy car speakers there.
Yes.
And now they've got it into numerous places, one of them being Treehouse.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Amazon has all 4 books available. As Jenna mentioned, it's going to be available in French this week. So if that is something that is of interest. And then we've got book 5, The First Penalty. Based on Emma. Coming out next month in April.
Yep, in April.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
So exciting. So RosieTheHockeyPlayer.com.
Yes.
You can also find Rosie the Hockey Player on Instagram if you want more details.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. Well, Jenna, thank you again so much for coming in today. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to hearing more about Rosie's adventures. Stay tuned. Grey County Life will continue in just a moment. We'll be joined by Marcia Cunningham to learn more about some of the upcoming events at the Roxy Theatre in Owen Sound. Stay tuned.
Heartbeat of Mother Earth, I feel you and embrace your warmth. I see you dancing through the trees. Your song floats on the summer breeze. Community, we come together. We are the voice of our ancestors. Thankful for how much you bless us. Feel the thunder in the drum. All our voices sing as one. Feel the power, feel the pride. Feel the drumbeat deep inside. Feel the boom, feel the bass. Let's let go of time and space. It'll make you dance, it'll make you sing. Ode Wegun, Wedok Wishin. The drum will lead you, take you far. Always remember who you are.
Hi, I'm David Sherman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next show, where my guest will be the mayor of the town of Blue Mountains, Andrea Matrosavs. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
Every year,
Dozens of Canadians are killed or seriously injured because they take risks around railway tracks. Talk to your loved ones about rail safety. Visit stoptracktragedies.ca.
Welcome back to Grey County Life. As we get into the spring season, things are very busy over at the Roxy Theatre in Owen Sound. And to talk about some of the upcoming events, we're joined now by Executive Director Marcia Cunningham. Hello, Marcia. How are you?
Guys, I'm well. How are you?
Very good. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
I know it's super busy over there at the Roxy.
Yes.
There's a stage show that's coming up that we're going to learn more next week. I believe we're going to have the cast of Something Rotten's going to be here.
Yep. They took over the theater. They've built the set's going to be incredible. Lots of the costumes, amazing. And so it's going to be a big extravaganza. There are 11 shows of that, so there are still opportunities for people to get tickets. Tickets are on sale. It's going to be incredible, but I won't say any more about it. I'll leave that to the team for next week. So.
All right. I've been very excited about all the photos and everything I've seen, and shout out to the costume department. It looks like they knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, they made, I don't know how many, like dozens and dozens and dozens of custom costumes. Wow. Very, very impressive.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll save that for next week, but let's talk about what's going on. You brought the brochures again.
I always bring
That's
the brochure.
How busy we are.
Yeah.
We have to have our own brochures for the
Exactly.
Roxy.
Now keep in mind that this does get printed some months ago and things get added. For example, I'm very excited to announce that we have a new Roxy Presents that we just added. The Lightfoot Band is coming. So this is the actual band, Gordon Lightfoot's band, that toured with him through his career, the original band, and they've been touring now in honor of Gordon Lightfoot. They have a new vocalist named Andy Mock, but it's the original band. It's Rick Haynes on bass, Barry Keane on drums and percussion, Mike Heffernan, Carter Lancaster, and then Andy Mock on guitar and lead vocals. So these are the folks that know this music better than anybody else, and we are very excited that they're going to be at the Roxy Theatre on May 17th. Tickets just went on sale, and so get your tickets to that.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Did you hear that there is a petition that they're trying to rename the Highway 400 after Gordon Lightfoot?
I love that.
In like specifically like in Aurelia area.
Okay.
They wanted to have it be like Gordon Lightfoot like Memorial Highway or something like that.
That's amazing.
There's I think the last I looked there was like almost 1,400 names on this petition.
Right. Well, after this, there will be like another few hundred.
Right.
So everyone's going to jump on their computers and Google it. Look at you making change.
Go to change.org, sign the petition if you wish. But anyway, that's very cool. So tickets available now for that.
Yes.
Which I'm sure will go quickly.
Yeah, I think so.
For an event like that.
I think so. Especially because it is the actual Gordon Lightfoot band.
Right.
And so there's also a VIP opportunity where if people want to pay a little bit extra, they can get up on stage either before or after the show and meet and talk with and connect with and share some stories with some of the band members. So
cool.
Yeah, that's an option as well.
Okay.
So they're going to do all the Lightfoot hits, but just with a different vocalist,
yes,
obviously.
That's right. Yep.
Gordon, unfortunately, no longer with us.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that is exciting. That is going to be if you want to see musicians who are amazing at their craft.
Yeah.
That's going to be a great show to go to.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Also coming up, I understand too. I saw this is on the schedule. The Paddling Film Festival is going to be at the Roxy.
Yes.
So this is it all movies about getting out on the open water?
Yep. And so that's done by Sun Trail Source for Adventure out of Hepworth, and so that's a rental where they're renting the theater to bring that Paddling Film Festival. It's a very popular festival. It's really fun to see the people that come. You can tell that these people are like here in the spring to watch this, to come to this festival, to get excited about paddling and get out there.
Right.
So really great lineup of films for paddling and open water enthusiasts and river enthusiasts as well, outdoors people.
Awesome, and that's this Saturday. The 30th.
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
okay.
coming right up right
That's
away.
Easter weekend. Oh, Easter weekend this weekend. I just
that's
realized
right. It's
that.
early this year. I keep forgetting. We've got the Easter decorations out.
I know.
and
You would think that we would have got that cue that the Easter eggs are here, but anyway. Okay, so that'll be well attended, I'm sure. And then what else is coming up? What else have we got going on?
Something Rotten, as we talked about. We have a rental, Hotel California, which is the Eagles tribute that tends to do very well. They come twice a year.
They usually sell out.
Yeah, they sell out. And so actually I'm looking at my little blurb here and it says limited tickets. So that probably means there's only 10 seats left. So
Right.
After that, we have Tom Thompson's Wake on May 3rd. And that is a Roxy Presents with, the act is called Shipyard Kitchen Party. They are out of Collingwood.
Yeah.
And that's a really neat show. We did have it here last year. It's, of course, has a special resonance for Owen Sound because of the connection to Tom Thompson. And it is sort of a combination of musical, folk music, and some storytelling. And it sort of creates, like there's a bit of fiction to it as well. It takes the what is known about Tom Thompson, and then weaves in some ideas about what might have been. And so some fictitious discussions. It takes some actual letters that were you know, from the time, but then weaves some dialogue and some storytelling behind it. The music is phenomenal. They have a screen that is projecting images, onto which they're projecting images, both photographs of Tom Thompson in various settings, but then also artwork. And it looks really beautiful. And so we are excited. Actually, we're going to do a school show for that one as well for some of the students in the area, and then the public show for the community on May 3rd.
Okay.
May 4th, we have Classic Albums Live. Have you guys ever seen Classic Albums Live?
I have not.
I don't think so.
I don't think they've been up in this area much, or if they have been, it's been a long time ago.
Yeah.
Classic Albums Live is an outfit that tours. They are a group of musicians who, they are not a tribute band, they are not a cover band, they are like serious musicians who play the album. And so they come in, they aren't trying to dress like or act like and do a whole lot of theatrics. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but that's just not what these guys do. And so we've got them presenting Led Zeppelin 2, which is one of my favorite albums, and not why I picked it. And so they will play that note for note. Like you can sit down, close your eyes, and you will feel like you are listening to that note for note, squeak for squeak. If if Robert Plant sighed at some point in the sound, it's amazing. Very different than, like, they don't talk, they don't engage through it. It's just, they play the album. So music lovers really love getting the opportunity to hear the music they love, but it's all about the music. And then there's an intermission, and then in the second half, they'll come back on with a little bit more chit chat, and play other selections by Led Zeppelin as well. But yeah, they tour all over, usually sell out everywhere. And so we're really excited to have this band in Owen Sound.
Amazing.
Right.
And,
Wow.
they just have to be playing your favorite album.
I know, that was a really big coincidence.
Zeppelin 2.
Yeah.
That's the one with the immigrant song, I'm pretty sure.
I think so. Yeah, and Thank You, and yeah, Heartbreaker.
Yeah.
A Lot of Love.
Oh, yes?
Yep, it's a good one.
It's a good album. Okay, so that's on May 4th at the Roxy. Get your tickets for that one before they're all gone.
What is Sexy Laundry?
So Sexy Laundry
I just saw
is, I know.
Excuse you?
Yeah.
What is that?
So that is actually the Bruce County Playhouse out of Southampton.
Okay.
They are renting the theater to bring this play over this way. And so they're in the theater May 8th, 9th, and 10th. Now, that play happens to have a couple of actors that have graced the Roxy stage a number of times in Owen Sound Little Theater productions.
Yeah.
So Sam Colwell-Castles and, oh goodness, it'll come back to me. Thank you, Tom Albrecht, are in that play. And so lots of people who are familiar with them will recognize them. They've got an enthusiastic following.
Right.
However, this is actually a Bruce County Playhouse play. And they're renting the theater for those 3 nights.
Okay.
Yeah, to bring us a little something different.
Sexy Laundry.
I was sad that I missed it last summer when it was at the Bruce County Playhouse in Southampton, so I'm definitely going to try to get tickets for this go.
Yeah.
Actually, just before we started the interview, I did get an email from Tom, because Tom, anybody that's been at the Roxy before probably remember him very recently from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest in the lead role there. So we might have Tom and Sam on at some point to talk about this play. So
okay.
we'll work on setting that up for everyone.
Explain to me how laundry is sexy.
Anyone who's done laundry knows.
Not.
Yes.
It is a burden.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Tom and Sam could do something to make it sexy. I don't know. They're pretty good. They're pretty good at what they do.
All right, let's talk about the next big event. This is going to be fun. A Tragically Hip event. It's going to be. Is it Man Machine Poems?
Yes, that's
okay.
right. Yep. So that's a rental. That band is a popular tribute band to, obviously one of Canada's most popular acts, and that's May 11th. And there's still some tickets available for that as well. Okay. But I think it'll sell. Just such I have heard them, like obviously, and like this group, and they do an amazing job. Yeah, really good. And it's music that I think, especially to our generation, I'm putting in your age group, even though I think you might be younger than me. I think it really resonates with us because this is the stuff we grew up to and listening to. So
Wheat Kings and Boots and Hearts and all that stuff. Yeah.
Three Pistols, little Tom Thompson reference in that song too. So,
true.
That's right. See, it all comes together.
Yeah. It's amazing. You can learn about Canada just by looking at the lyrics of Tragically Hip songs, because it's all right there. It's true. All right. Well, looking forward to seeing this.
I didn't know that Bob Cajun existed until Tragically.
You didn't know it was a place?
I didn't know it was a real place. Yeah, until they did a song called Bob Cajun. I was like, what is that? And I'm like,
I didn't realize it was a place.
Exists.
I just thought it was a song for a while.
Right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, see, they educated us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So the Hip are there on Saturday, May 11th, so at least it's a Saturday night for those.
That'll be a good one.
That'll be a good one. And then the Stampeders are coming.
They are.
Not a tribute band, the actual Stampeders.
The actual Stampeders. Unfortunately, in the last week or two, one of the band members died. And so the band has chosen
nice long life, but I thought it was very cool when I read that they decided that they were going to keep on with the tour, because that's what he would have wanted. Yeah. He was a performer, he was dedicated to the music, and he would have wanted the music to continue. So I thought that was really neat.
I mean, he was 76 and he booked a tour, right? Yeah. So he wanted to take the band out one more time.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a show of strength by all means, and I also think that for Stampeders fans, it's a really lovely way for them to, it's a true tribute. Yeah. Because it will be the balance of the band for likely what appears to be the last time, or at least one more time, paying tribute to Ronnie King. Yeah. So that is May 13th, and there are still some tickets on sale for that, but not many. Okay. So people should pick those up before those are all gone.
Absolutely, and just in case they can't get ones for the Roxy, they are also going to be at the Meaford Hall.
Oh, okay.
So they have a couple of shows. I think it's the 4th and 5th. I think they're here on the 3rd, and then they're doing Meaford the 4th and 5th.
They're here on the 13th.
Sorry.
Yep.
It's
other way. Yeah.
The other way. Yeah. Sorry. They do have, I think, still some tickets available for Meaford if they're unavailable to get the ones for the 13th here.
Yep.
Just extra little plug for me.
Yeah. That's great. Good.
Get the Stampeders fans got to say goodbye to their favorite band.
Yeah.
Like, you don't very often get to say goodbye to your favorites, right? So.
Yeah. So it's, you got to think a few things going on.
Oh, yeah,
the Roxy.
a few. That takes us up to May 13th.
Yeah. Is there anything else that I might have missed? I wrote up to May 13th on our list.
Okay, is that what you got to? Because I'm back again soon. Well, I did want to mention the Roxy Star Company. That's our Adults with Disabilities program. We're in our 2nd year of that program. We're doing that in cooperation with Community Living and Reach Center. Right. And that is a series of theater classes. I think the first one is March 28th for adults who identify as being disabled in some way. And that will culminate in a show on June 27th, I believe. The tickets aren't yet on sale for the show, but they will be soon. And get them like the second you get the email, buy your ticket. Because last year, it was the best thing. Like, it was really, oh, sorry, I just touched my mic. It was really great. Yeah. But there are still a few spots left for the program that starts on March 27th. And so if people want to register for that program, they can reach out to the Roxy Theatre and get registered. And really, what that program is all about is celebrating the strengths of the individuals who are participating. So we teach them some theater skills, some music skills, some dance skills, some wardrobe, some costume, but it's also really being driven by the participants. And so at the end, they're putting on this talent show that is really going to be driven by, where they see their talents is lying. And I've heard already of some of what some of the participants have stepped forward and said that they plan to do in the talent show, and it's going to be fantastic. So that's a great program, Roxy Star Company, which is, I will mention, funded by Ontario Trillium Foundation, supported us in launching that program. And then the other piece is the Adams family. And so that is the Roxy Young Company production, and that's later in June, but you should get your tickets for that soon too, because it's sold out. Like, our Young Company productions always sell out. And so that's June 8th, 14th, 15th, those dates in there. Both matinees and evening performances. And so those are kids from the community who are participating in a musical directed by Grace McCoubrey of the Addams Family, Young at Heart.
Yeah, and Grace is incredibly talented herself, so
Yes.
that's awesome. I think my friend's kid is in that.
Okay.
Do they practice on Wednesdays?
Probably.
Yeah, because I know that she drops her off at the Roxy on Wednesdays, and it might be she's involved with maybe that production or something else with the.
We've been running both, like what we call Act 1 was up until Christmas, and then Act 2, which was after Christmas, and those are theater classes for the kids.
Right. Maybe it's
and
that
then
that she's
it might
doing.
be that, but then it might be like a lot of those kids subsequently auditioned, like because they developed the skills through the Act 1 and Act 2 program, and then they audition for the production.
Right.
And so it's really about building the skills and then giving the kids an opportunity to use those skills and demonstrate those skills.
Yeah, and helping them with the confidence too.
Absolutely.
That's a
We
big
had
part of
a
it.
March break camp, and we got feedback from one of the parents or grandparents of a participant. We all know COVID was really tough on kids. Life is just tough. Some kids, everyone struggles. One of the parents or grandparents literally said that the child's experience at our March break camp was life-changing. And we
Wow.
see that over and over again with the Roxy Young Company, the role that we're playing, the way that we're able to help the kids to express themselves, to find their tribe, to find kids that they can be themselves, goofy or outlandish, try on something different. I mean, that's one of the things
Oh,
that
yeah.
theater is so good for.
It welcomes everybody, not just kids, but even adults who otherwise maybe are a little bit socially awkward. Hi.
And have never done it before.
I've never done it before, even
Yeah.
if you've got no experience. It's just an amazing group of people that's welcoming to everybody, and that's part of the reason why I love it so much.
And we are always looking for new members at Owen Sound Little Theater, whether it's on stage, off stage, for members events. There's, it's a community theater that owns the Roxy Theater. And so in order for it to continue to grow, we need for more community members to join Owen Sound Little Theater and take it forward, as we are seeing. But, more people are always welcome.
Right. Yeah, and how can people sign up to become a member?
They can go to the website, they can call the box office, and sign up there. Yeah, and then there are 2 levels of membership. You can either sign up to be a supporting member, which is really like you want to make sure you're on our newsletter list and email list, and you want front of the line because, for example, that Gordon Lightfoot Act I talked about, when we decided to do that, all of our members got front of the line access. They got a pre-sale opportunity. So you could be a supporting member, or you can be a participating member, and that's where you are, you get to make decisions around the organization, come to the general meetings and the AGM. You could run for the board, you can be on a committee, be on stage, backstage, lots of opportunities. We kind of want to meet you where you are.
Right.
But, we'll bring you in and get you busy.
That's
Amazing.
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 So much going on at the Roxy. Unfortunately, we're out of time.
Okay.
See, we've gone through all of it. We could still keep going, but
could.
we're going to have you on again
Yes.
in a few weeks, I believe. We're going to have the cast of Something Rotten on next week, and we're going to have Renee here next with another animal. Stay tuned.
With clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada, squash is the sport for wall-to-wall fun, fitness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play, and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Hi, I'm Gord Chapman. This is Ken Williams, and we're co-hosts of Weekend in the Rink on Rogers TV. Great minor hockey being played on Saturday afternoon. We got a great lineup this year, Ken.
Looking forward to another great season, Gord. The hockey's been fantastic over the last couple of years, and why would this year be any different? Looking forward to some great hockey. Rogers, Weekend at the Rink.
Public transit, garbage pickup, parks and recreation programs, snow removal on your street. How can you stay informed about these and other important local services? Tune to City Council coverage on Rogers TV. See your community leaders at work on Rogers TV City Council coverage.
Welcome back to Great County Life. Joining us now in studio, Renee from the Owen Animal Shelter with a very large kitty cat that is looking for a forever home. Tell us a little bit about Wally.
This is my friend Wally, who was an owner surrender. His owner has gone to a nursing home, and unfortunately Wally and his friends came to us. The good part of that is that we have history on him, and we know his whole life story, and we know where he's been. Apparently Wally was originally found at Walmart, which is how he earned the name Wally. We've been calling him Bowling Ball or Bolly or Volley because, as you can see, he's been given lots of love in the 3 years of his life. Wally's head, in fact, is too small for his giant body now.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy. I'm going to make lots of fun of you today. He also has a condition in which his tongue sticks out all the time. So my apologies if he's sticking it out at you. If it's not, it will randomly be sticking out. He also sometimes gets little teary eyes, and it's just something that requires a wipe. No big deal.
He's emotional.
He's sad. He's
so sad. He's homeless, Renee.
Go home and stuff. He is, sorry, buddy, grossly overweight. This cat should be 8 pounds. He's more like 23 pounds. So Wally has been given a restricted diet and a lot more exercise, and it's slowly coming off, but we definitely encourage a new home to love him a little less, keep the treats away from him, keep him on the diet food, and you know what?
Keep the feast less fancy.
It's true. You can do it, buddy. You can do it. It is a risk to his health for him to be this big, as it is for all of us when we get big. Bad for his legs, bad for his hips, bad for his whole body, but it's also very hard for him to clean himself and groom. Wally is developing some dandruff because he's unable to clean himself properly. It's getting better, but it's definitely going to be a problem as time goes on. Don't let him get any bigger. We're sorry, Wally, we love you, but you got to slim up, buddy. He has been in a home with a cat and a dog. He loves them dearly. He would love a cat of his own. He'd love a dog of his own. He really would fit absolutely, not so much fitting. He would settle anywhere.
He might not fit through the door,
he's not going to
but
fit through
I'm
the
just kidding.
space, but he'll love them. And in fact, it would be very good for him to have playmates so that he can exercise a little bit more. Wally is not spending a lot of time in a cage at the shelter. First of all, he doesn't really fit. But secondly, he's been with us long enough. It gives us the chance to give him the opportunity to wander. And we've noticed he really enjoys having the company. We always find him sitting with somebody else. And when I say that, it's creature related or human related. He wants to be on your lap, he wants the love, and he wants a buddy.
He'd be great with like a 7 or 8 year old that wants to play.
Yes.
They could throw the ball, they could do that little feather on a stick thing. And that's why I'm picturing this cat being like a playmate to like an energetic child.
He needs the exercise. It would do him some serious good to have a buddy to play with, for sure. I mean, we're just going to keep calling you fat. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. He is neutered. His vaccines are up to date. He is in good health. Again, just this little bit of extra chub is not ideal, but
the winter weight,
it'll come off. It's not a big deal. It'll come off. He is only 3, so he's got a lifetime of slim, right? You get a lifetime. You're going to roll right off.
We just need to get rid of the treats from the diet.
Yes.
And limit.
A lot of people do the free feeding. They leave the dish down. You know, they think their cats are hungry. I got cats like that. They're like, hello, I'm starving.
Yeah.
They're not.
They're bored.
They're just looking for, it's like the rest of us. What's in the fridge?
Yeah.
What's in the fridge?
I guarantee when I'm eating, I'm not always hungry.
Exactly.
It's just for something to
do. So we have stopped him from that. We're going to recommend people don't do that. Even if it's 2 feedings, 3 feedings, small feedings a day, at least you know what's going in.
Right.
In a multi-pet household, that's difficult, which is, I think, what happened here. His friends were a little slimmer, and somebody else was maybe eating their meals. We're telling on you.
Everybody's
We're
food.
telling on you. He was like, I'm starving. Oh, that's his. I'll eat it.
Oh my goodness.
You weren't
Okay.
starving, but maybe you had some trauma.
Oh my
Maybe
goodness.
about
Well,
Walmart.
Wally, I believe in you. I believe
my
that
gosh.
you can limit yourself and be
You can do it.
healthier. And there's the tongue.
There it is.
There it is.
Yeah, 90% of the time it is out.
Oh my goodness, he's so
Your face
cute.
is too fat
He's
for
so
your
cute.
tongue.
We need to talk about what's happening on Sunday.
Oh gosh.
Your 25th anniversary open house.
Oh yes, we have lots of great things coming up. 25 years of the Owen Sound Animal Shelter. Gosh, I'm old, but we're so excited to have succeeded because it's been a blast.
Yeah.
In saying that, our doors will be open Sunday, March 31st, from 12 until 3. Come in, pop out. You got questions? Ask them. You want a tour? Take one.
Yeah.
You want to see what we have for pets? Come see them. We will have items by donation that you're welcome to take, because we got lots of stuff. It's an opportunity to share the wealth. We will also have treats by donation available for persons as well. The actual anniversary date is April 1st. No kidding, not an April Fool's joke. So there will be a challenge, a social media challenge on that day, 25 for 25. We're asking people to donate $25 if they're interested. Those people using the hashtag, which will be OSAS25 for 25, will get put in a draw, and they'll get the opportunity to win some great prizes from Pet Value and PetSmart, so that we can give back as well. I mean, we understand that donations are hard to come by these days, so you don't have to do it, but we want to give you a chance to win something great if you do. We're pretty excited about the 25 years, so.
Wow.
Very excited to celebrate.
And you and Todd have been there since the doors opened.
Yeah. We started the operation of Owen Sound Animal Shelter. It used to be your Owen Sound Animal Control, your dog pound. We wanted to change the way things operated. We became a no-kill shelter at that time, and it's been interesting. It's been a challenge for sure, but we've certainly got a handle on it, and hopefully to do a little bit longer. We'll see.
Right?
Yeah.
That's incredible that you've, been running for that long, and I mean the incredible animals that you've taken care of, and some of the heartbreaking stories too that I'm sure you've encountered, and wow, it's just amazing. So again, that open house is this Sunday, March 31st from 12 to 3 at the shelter. It would be great to have everybody there, take a tour. If you've never been, this is an opportunity to go and maybe cuddle some kitties or some puppies while you're there, and maybe fall in love with one and take one home.
That's right. Maybe you won't be there. I'm hoping not. But if you are, maybe you want to meet him and see
Yeah,
for
you could
yourself
do a meet
how
and greet
big his
right
butt-
there
big
with
his head is.
Wally. Oh my gosh.
little head.
Oh my gosh. He's so cute. But if you're interested in meeting Wally, definitely call the shelter, 519-372-1123, and check out the open house this Sunday. Have you ever been inside the shelter?
I have not been inside that shelter.
Right.
I've been inside more than enough shelters in my life,
Right,
but
well,
not
this
that
one.
one. But
Come and check it
I
out.
know it's a special place.
Absolutely. All right. Well, we're looking forward to that this Sunday. And again, if you want to inquire about Wally, 519-372-1123. Thank you so much, Renee. And thank you for joining us on this week's episode of Grey County Life.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I did it. I need it.
A hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the